Good evening, friends. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Bhumika, Hira, Jia, Revati, or all of you. Students, we are into the last session of this chapter, chapter number 1, nature, objective, and scope of audit. So, what we have discussed in this chapter, students, till now, I told you that it is largely based upon Essay 200. Okay, so we had discussed the nature of auditing, what are the objectives of an auditor, what is scope of an audit of financial statements, and we had also discussed that auditor has to maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. He has to remain alert, and we had also studied about the independence of audit, that it is the basic requirement because audit is an independent examination of financial statements. So auditor gives an independent report. We had also discussed about threats to independence. 5 threats we had discussed. What were those threats? These threats were self-interest threats, self-review threats, advocacy threats, and intimidation threats and familiarity threats. So 5 type of threats we had discussed. So we had also learned that what should an auditor do if he identifies threats to his independence. So he should try to reduce these threats to acceptable level, or if he is not in a position to do so, then he has to withdraw from the engagement, and he should not accept the engagement if he is still in the process of accepting it. Similarly, we had also learnt about the 5 fundamental principles of ethics. So we had learnt about 5 principles. What were those 5 principles? Integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, and professional behavior. Okay, so we had discussed these things in quite detail in last 2 sessions. I sincerely hope that uh, you must have got a fair idea, and you must have tried to read it from your module also. So any queries in this chapter, guys, you can send. We will discuss it today itself before we conclude this chapter. So today, guys, we shall be discussing about 2 more standards. One is Essay 210 and one is SQC1. So what is Essay 210? So till now we had studied about Essay 200, which was about the objectives of an independent auditor and conduct of audit in accordance with essays. So now we are coming to Essay 210, which relates to agreeing the terms of audit engagement. Okay, and we shall also be going through standards on quality control, in which SQC1 has been issued for firms that provide auditing, review, related services and assurance engagements. Okay, so right away we go to Essay 210. So whatever your queries are, guys, my request to you is just we'll reserve some time, 10 minutes at the last. So drop your mails then. So query mails of last 2 sessions, please drop your mails at that time at about 8:20. Okay. So essay 210, agreeing the terms of audit engagement. So guys, we had discussed about engagement in our last class days before yesterday. So what is in engagement? Engagement, I had told you, it is a sort of formal agreement. It is a sort of a formal agreement between whom? Between a client and auditor. Say client wants to engage auditor for audit of accounts, audit of its financial statements, then this is called engagement. Okay, so the auditor has been engaged by the client. It means that auditor has been engaged by the client. Okay, so since it is a sort of formal agreement, so an engagement letter is sent by whom? Is sent by auditor to client. Okay, say first of all an auditor receives an offer letter from a client that we want you to conduct audit of our company, of our entity. If the auditor is agreeable to that, then he sets an engagement letter. So you have to remember that engagement letter is sent by the auditor to the client. Auditor sends engagement letter to the client. Okay. So Akshay Kumar, guys, kindly, while pressing mails, take care and do not press the button too hard. Now, Mr. Akshay Kumar, you have pressed button in such a way that almost more than 100 mails have come. So engagement letter is sent by the auditor to client. So essay 210 is about the agreeing the terms of audit engagement. Agreeing the terms of audit engagement. Since the auditor is agreeing to accept the engagement, therefore it is necessary that all thing is formalized, that terms and conditions are set out in the engagement letter itself. Okay, like what would be the nature and scope of audit. Okay, what basically it means what the auditor is supposed to do. Okay, what are the responsibilities of auditor? These should also be set out. What are the responsibilities of management? These should also be set out. Okay, so these kind of things are included in engagement letter. So it is a formal letter where the auditor accepts that he is going to conduct the audit on these terms. Okay, so that there is no misunderstanding, there is no confusion later on about the scope of work to be performed, or about the responsibilities of auditor, or about the responsibilities of management. So this essay, this standard on auditing 210 deals with all these things. Clear, guys? So generally, Bhumika, what happens is that in larger audits, a formal offer letter is mandatory in smaller cases. It can be an oral offer, and later on the auditor can accept by sending engagement letter. Engagement letter is uh, mandatory. Okay, it is necessary before the auditor agrees to accept the audit. Yes, engagement letter, basically we will discuss about the contents of engagement letter. It is broadly the same. It is broadly the same. It sets out Ramachandra, it sets out nature and scope of audit. Here, what the auditor is supposed to do, he has to obtain reasonable assurance. His purpose is to obtain reasonable assurance so that financial statements are free from material misstatements, whether due to error or fraud. And it also includes responsibilities of management, that management is responsible for preparation and presentation of financial statements and other things. Okay, so clear, guys? So before agreeing to accept the audit engagement, the auditor would see whether preconditions for an audit are present. Now, what are these preconditions? The auditor has to see that preconditions for an audit have to be present. If these preconditions are not present, then auditor should not accept the engagement. Okay. So what do we mean by preconditions? Preconditions, students, you have to understand these mean that management has to prepare the financial statements by using acceptable financial reporting framework. That financial reporting framework, in accordance with which financial statements are prepared, that is acceptable, that should be acceptable to the auditor. Say if it is prescribed by law, then it is okay. Say in case of companies, financial statements are to be prepared in accordance with schedule 3. Okay, so it is provided by law, by rules and regulations. Okay, so Shazia, what should be, you are writing what should be done to withdraw from the engagement. तो अभी तो हमने engagement accept ही नहीं की है. So if it looks to me that this engagement does not fulfill the basic condition, I should simply say no. I should not accept. I should not give an engagement letter. Withdrawal की बात तो तभी आएगी when one has accepted the engagement by sending a signed engagement letter. Okay. फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क मैं पहले स्टूडेंट्स आपको बता चुका हूं 2 लेक्चर में कि किस फ्रेमवर्क के आधार पर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स बनती हैं. जैसे कंपनीज की फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट शेड्यूल 3 कंपनीज एक्ट के हिसाब से बनती हैं, तो लॉ में प्रेस्क्राइब्ड है कि आपको क्या आपका प्रेजेंटेशन का फॉर्मेट है, क्या डिस्क्लोजर्स रिक्वायरमेंट है, क्या किस हिसाब से फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स बननी है. Okay, it is not similar to SA. SA is standard on auditing. Ramchandra, you are confusing say something for another thing. Financial reporting framework is basic framework, basic ढांचा according to which financial statements are going to be prepared. It is a responsibility of the management. So where law prescribes is these have to be prepared in accordance with law. Okay. And the second thing is the management, there is agreement between the management and auditor regarding the premises. It means regarding the assumptions on the basis of which audit is conducted. Assumptions on basis of which audit is conducted. So what does this mean? This means that मैनेजमेंट को भी इस बात का क्लियर होना चाहिए कि जो ऑडिट हो रहा है उस ऑडिट का स्कोप क्या है. से we know that as a professional, because we have studied the auditing subject, we know that audit is concerned with obtaining reasonable assurance. It does not ensure 100% guarantee, it does not provide 100% complete assurance, it does not provide absolute assurance. So management should also know, it should also have understanding that that the purpose of audit is, it is not possible for audit to dig out every error, every fraud, every material misstatement, because auditor would be carrying out his work on test check basis, on basis of sampling. It would not be possible for the auditor to check each and every transaction. So preparation of financial statements and to keep its system, to keep its internal control running is the responsibility of the management. Management has to clearly understand that कि ये आपकी responsibility है, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स बनाना भी आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, आपकी कंपनी का इंटरनल कंट्रोल प्रॉपरली ऑपरेट करना भी आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. The auditor is supposed to verify, the auditor is supposed to check whether the controls applied by you are working effectively or not. Okay, he would be testing controls, he would be verifying financial statements prepared by the company by applying his audit procedures to see whether there are whether these are error free, or whether there is possibility of some fraud or error, whether there is possibility of material misstatements. Okay, so therefore both management and auditor should have clear understanding of the scope of audit. Auditor को तो पता है, so management should also know. So that is why the significance of this engagement letter comes into the picture, because it helps in removing misunderstandings. Okay, it helps in avoiding confusions. Okay, so is that clear? क्या आपको स्टूडेंट समझ आ गया कि इसका क्या मतलब है? लाइक से एक ऑडिटर ने ऑडिट किया और से मैनेजमेंट को क्लियर नहीं है कि मैनेजमेंट इज अंडर द इंप्रेशन कि जो अगर कोई हमारी कंपनी में फ्रॉड है तो वो ऑडिटर को उसकी तो ड्यूटी है, बिकॉज वो ये एंगेज ऑडिटर, ये तो उसकी ड्यूटी है निकालना. सो कल को कोई निकलता है तो हम तो ऑडिटर को पकड़ेंगे. तो इस चीज में मैनेजमेंट के बारे में भी, मैनेजमेंट को भी ये क्लैरिटी होनी जरूरी है कि ऑडिटर अपना वर्क जो है, ऑडिट वर्क, वो ही विल कैरी आउट प्रोफेशनली. ओके, ही वुड टेक due care, he would employ all the audit procedures, he would carry out the audit in accordance with essays. But even after applying those procedures, if later on he has carried out his work professionally, but even after that, if some wrongdoing is is observed later on, say 2-3 years later, then they cannot say that auditor is responsible if the auditor can prove that he has carried out work diligently. Okay, so clear guys? So समझ आ गया आपको गाइस कि एसए 210 किस बारे में है और प्री कंडीशंस फॉर एन ऑडिट का क्या मतलब है? So now guys, we are at page 1.36 of your module. We are at page 1.36 of your module. Page 1.36 of your module. Is that clear? So ये क्या कहता है? What does it say? It states that preconditions for an audit may be defined as used by the management of an acceptable financial reporting framework in the preparation of financial statements. कि मैनेजमेंट जो भी जिस भी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स जो बना रही है, जिस फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क के अकॉर्डिंग वो बना रही है, दैट शुड बी एक्सेप्टेबल टू द ऑडिटर बिकॉज इट इज द बेस on which financial statements are prepared. Okay, like in case of companies, we have understood that it is prescribed in law, and the agreement of management and where appropriate those charged with governance to the premise on which audit is conducted. कि जो ऑडिट कंडक्ट होना है उसके पीछे मैनेजमेंट और ऑडिटर the management completely understand that what is the purpose of audit and where this whole thing audit thing stands. Okay, so is that clear? So इसको देखने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स की वेदर प्री कंडीशंस फॉर ऑडिट आर प्रेजेंट और नॉट, what the auditor shall do. Now what he has to see that whether preconditions for audit are present or not, how he will come to know before he gives his nod by signing engagement letter. So he will see whether financial reporting framework is acceptable. Okay, if it is prescribed by law, then it is very good. Okay, then obviously it is acceptable. Obtain the agreement of management, and he has to obtain the agreement of management in writing. Okay, that management understands that preparation of financial statements is its responsibility. Like guys, I have been telling you from the day one that preparation and presentation of financial statements is responsibility of management, but management has to give it in the writing. Okay, and it is this fact is included in the responsibilities of management in the engagement letter itself. Okay, so कल को they cannot run out ना कि हमें पता नहीं था. that we didn't understand this way. So that is why it is important to document it in writing. Keshav Goyal, you are saying when will our book deliver? What do you mean to say? You are asking about printed copy of module that you can confirm from Board of Studies, from ICI. I have no knowledge. Gaurav, what is the criteria for a firm to get audited? Look, Gaurav, there is no legal requirement per se, but under Income Tax Act, there is a requirement for every person, including a firm, to get its accounts audited if the turnover is beyond some limit. There is a limit fixed. Beyond that limit, if the turnover is beyond that limit, then the firm has to get its accounts audited. So under Partnership Act, it may not be mandatory to get the accounts audited. However, partnership deed can contain a clause that that partners have decided to get the accounts audited. But under income tax law, it is necessary to get the accounts audited if turnover is more than a prescribed limit. Tushar Sharma, maybe 5 crore. No, it is not 5 crore, Tushar. There are, since last 1-2 years, some more conditions have been attached to it. So basic limit was 1 crore, but there are some more conditions now attached to it. Say if the payments have been received through account paid checks, okay, then that benefit of rupees 10 crore is allowed. So you would be studying all these things under income tax law. The relevant section is section 44 AB of Income Tax Act. Okay. And number two is for internal control, and it has also to be obtained in writing from the management that management is responsible for internal control. We know that management is responsible for internal control, for setting up its procedures, for establishing systems to ensure reliability of financial reporting, for safeguarding of assets, for effective and efficient running of its operations. Okay. And to provide the auditor, and it is also necessary that this is also precondition. The auditor has to check, the management has to give in writing documents he would require, the management would provide. So before accepting the engagement, the auditor should ensure that management understands this. Okay. And any additional information which the auditor may call, and further the auditor should be given access to all the person within the company, within the organization, from whom he might want to discuss something. He might want to inquire some matters from this. So the company later on cannot say that you cannot talk with our CFO. Okay, that you cannot talk with our operations manager or stores manager. We shall not allow you. So the company has to provide unrestricted access to persons within the entity जो ऑडिटर समझता है, जिनसे उसको कुछ इंक्वायर करने की जरूरत है, कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन लेने की जरूरत है, as part of his audit procedures to obtain audit evidence. So the management shall provide all these things. Clear guys? क्लियर है स्टूडेंट्स आपको प्री कंडीशंस वाला मैटर? So agreement on audit engagement terms. So this I already explained to you. Look guys, here importance of engagement letter, that both the auditor and client, each party should be clear about the nature of engagement. It must be reduced to writing and should exactly specify the scope of work. So that is the main benefit of engagement letter. Okay. So what should be the contents of engagement letter? I have already told you contents of engagement letter. The objective and scope of audit of financial statement. It should include objective and scope of financial statements. Key, or it means that management should know that this is the scope of audit. That broadly it would include such things like I have given you an example, that management is not supposed to say or supposed to accept that auditor would dig out each and every misstatement. Okay. Number two, responsibilities of auditor. It should clearly spell out responsibilities of auditor. Okay, that his responsibilities to obtain only a reasonable assurance. Okay. Responsibilities of management. It should also dwell upon the responsibilities of management. कि management की responsibilities क्या हैं? That preparation and presentation of financial statements is the responsibility of management, and establishment and working of internal control system is the responsibility of the management. Okay. Identification of applicable फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क फॉर प्रिपरेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, कि जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स हैं वो किस फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क के अकॉर्डिंग बन रही हैं, दैट शुड बी आइडेंटिफाइड. ओके, whether it is prescribed by law or something else. And expected form and content of report, that the auditor would state that he would issue his report finally after doing all his work, after applying all procedures and obtaining audit evidence. He is going to issue his report in accordance with standards on auditing. Okay. And if some wrongdoing is observed, then he can also the report can deviate from expected form. It should be made clear to the management. Okay. So guys, clear up till here? So if law or regulation prescribes in sufficient detailed terms of audit engagement, sometimes it so happens that law under which appointment is being made, it by itself details that what are the responsibilities of auditor and what are the terms of audit engagement. Okay, it prescribes in sufficient detail, then auditor need not repeat all those things in the engagement letter, and he can state that the appointment has been made in accordance with this law, and the management understands, and that management understands its responsibilities which have been dealt out in these provisions of law. Okay. Naresh, there is no specific fees for audit prescribed. It is between the client and auditor. Okay. Yes, Ramchandra, good question. You are asking if the management later on decides to not to provide the information. First, there is an agreement. Management said that okay, we will provide you all the information. However, later on, when the auditor asks for some information, then management does not provide. Okay, or say adopts dealing tactics. So how it works, we shall be discussing after few minutes. There is a separate topic here. So recurring audits, guys, what is now there is what happens to terms of engagement in recurring audits. So recurring audits क्या होते हैं guys? Where recurring audits mean when the auditor is performing audit over number of years. Say uh, did I conducted audit of a company for 3 years, and in fourth year also I am conducting the audit. Okay. So recurring audits mean coming again and again. Recur means coming again and again, repeatedly. Okay. So अगर कोई recurring audit है जो continuously हो रहे हैं, so if the auditor feels after 3 years that हमने जो एंगेजमेंट लेटर पहले दी थी उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो है the entity is misunderstanding the objective and scope of audit now, or the circumstances have changed that it is now necessary to revise the terms of engagement or to make the management understand. Okay, so the auditor can revise the terms of engagement, like in cases, say when there is recent change of senior management, say there is a change in the management of the company. So when first time audit was accepted, the key managerial persons were somebody else. Now after 2-3 years the board has undergone significant change और कंपनी के मालिक ही बदल गए. ठीक है, प्रमोटर्स शेयर होल्डिंग बदल गई, सो किसी ने कंपनी खरीद ली. सो इट मे बिकम नेसेसरी कि जो 2 साल पहले आपने एंगेजमेंट लेटर दी थी वो उसको देयर माइट बी नीड टू रिवाइज. ओके, या कोई चेंज है लीगल रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स में. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. Now, limitation on scope prior to audit engagement acceptance. Now, this is another thing. Say, engagement letter देने से पहले, ऑडिटर एंगेजमेंट एक्सेप्ट करने से पहले, if the management tries to provide a limitation, वो से कहते हैं management says, the company says that we will not provide you this information, say, or yeah, you will not be allowed to communicate with our trade receivables, हम आपको उसका एड्रेस नहीं प्रोवाइड करेंगे, तो so that you can carry out external confirmation. Say if they, before the engagement acceptance, they put a limitation on the scope of audit so that auditor believes that it would not be possible for him to give an opinion on the financial statements, or it would not be possible for it would lead to disclaimer of his opinion, that he would not be in a position to give his opinion because the management is not providing all these things. Okay, then what will happen? Then auditor should not accept the engagement unless it is required by law. So अगर ऑडिटर को ये लगता है कि जो एंगेजमेंट एक्सेप्ट करने से पहले मैनेजमेंट उस पे कोई उसके ऑडिट का स्कोप कम कर रही है, जिससे कि वो अपना ओपिनियन नहीं दे पाएगा, he would likely end up in disclaiming the opinion. Okay, so the auditor shall not accept such an engagement. ओके क्योंकि उसको तो रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस देनी है, और हमने वी हैड अंडरस्टूड दैट रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस इज ए हाई लेवल ऑफ एश्योरेंस. ओके, उसको सारे ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स करने हैं. अगर मैनेजमेंट पहले ही उसको चेक लगा देगी कि यू कैन नॉट डू दिस, यू कैन नॉट डू दिस, वी विल नॉट अलाउ यू टू कम्युनिकेट विद दिस पर्सन, या हम आपको पूरा रिकॉर्ड नहीं दिखाएंगे. ओके, so the auditor should not accept the engagement in these circumstances. Yes, Ronan Kumar Gohil, you are saying illustrations भी करवाएं. So गोहिल साहब आप क्या करेंगे अगर सब कुछ मैं ही करवाऊंगा? So what you would do? Illustrations आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि सीए की स्टडी इट इज नॉट ए spoon feeding that you would everything is delivered ready made to you. आप क्योंकि अगर आप अपना दिमाग गोहिल नहीं लगाएंगे तो आप समझ नहीं पाएंगे. जो आप समझ रहे हैं आप उसको खुद अप्लाई कीजिए. जो आपने समझा है उसको समझिए, आपने दिमाग पे जोर डालिए, और जो एप्लीकेशन प्रॉब्लम दी गई है बहुत सिंपल है मॉड्यूल में. ओके, और उसको अप्लाई कीजिए, अपने आप उसका आंसर आप दे पाएंगे. और जब आप आंसर दे पाएंगे तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल इंक्रीज होगा, आपका कंफर्ट लेवल इंक्रीज होगा, आप में कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा कि आपने सब्जेक्ट अंडरस्टैंड कर लिया. आप समझ रहे हैं मिस्टर रोनन कुमार गोहिल व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? बहुत सिंपल डायरेक्ट एप्लीकेशंस आपकी मॉड्यूल में दी गई हैं. दीज आर नॉट डिफिकल्ट. अगर कोई आपको उसको करने में बाद में भी प्रॉब्लम आती है देन यू कैन आस्क. ओके, क्योंकि 3 लेक्चर्स में यू वुड आल्सो अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट इज नॉट वी आर नॉट एबल टू कंप्लीट द होल कंटेंट. और एग्जाम में स्टूडेंट्स यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जो आपके मॉड्यूल में इलिस्ट्रेशन दी हुई है या जो बैक एक्सरसाइज में है वहीं से कॉपी एंड पेस्ट करके क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते. एवरी टाइम देयर आर फ्रेश क्वेश्चंस. इसलिए आपको पूरा का पूरा चैप्टर आपको समझना है, स्टडी करना है, दिमाग में रखना है, अप्लाई करना है, रिमेंबर करना है, फिर उसको अप्लाई करना है. अगर आप इस स्ट्रेटेजी से नहीं चलोगे, आप क्रैमिंग में जाओगे, तो आपको आई एम सॉरी टू से कि आपको एग्जाम देने के बाद फिर यू वुड हैव टू कट ए सॉरी फिगर. जब आप नंबर देखोगे मार्कशीट में, ऑडिटिंग में 100 में से किसी के 20 नंबर आए हैं, किसी के 15 आए हैं, तो देन यू वुड रियलाइज. तो इसलिए यू हैव टू you have to learn to do things yourself by understanding the things. So CA study, CA course is designed in such a way to prompt you to undertake self study, to prompt you to be on your career development path yourself. Okay, is that clear, Gohil? Yes, Rishita is asking. Rushita is saying that illustrations are easy. Yes, the illustrations are direct application of what we are talking. Okay. Now, Darshan and others are also asking that what happens if limitations are imposed by the management after acceptance. So this is the topic. Now we come to acceptance of a change in engagement. Say now we come to the scenario where say the auditor has accepted the engagement. He has started the audit work. Okay. He has given the engagement letter to the client. He has started the audit work. But in the middle of the work, before he has completed his engagement, in the middle of audit work, before he has issued the report, say if he is asked by the management to change the engagement to one which provides a lower level of assurance. Agar suppose the organization, the entity says, सर हमें इतना डिटेल्ड काम नहीं चाहिए, एक बार ऑडिट एक्सेप्ट कर लिया आपने, देन दे से हमें इतना डिटेल्ड काम नहीं चाहिए, इसमें तो आपको बहुत कागज प्रोवाइड करने पड़ते हैं, हमने कुछ और सोचा था एंड वी वर कंफ्यूज्ड, हमें मालूम नहीं था. तो what should auditor do in such a circumstance? Okay. So if such a thing happens, then auditor should see what is his appropriateness of doing so, कि क्या ऐसा करना ठीक है. Now ऐसा करना का तीन टाइप की चीजें हो सकती हैं. मान लो कुछ सर्कमस्टांसिस में चेंज हो गया, या मैनेजमेंट ने ऑडिटिंग को मिसअंडरस्टैंड किया, देख वो कुछ और करवाना चाहते थे लेकिन कुछ और करवा रहे हैं. और या ये भी हो सकता है कि ऑडिटर मिडल में है ऑडिट के, ओके, और उसने कुछ ढूंढ लिया. सपोज ही हैज डिस्कवर्ड सम फ्रॉड, ही हैज आस्क्ड टू he has known that management itself is involved in fraud, or they are doing some hanky panky, or they are knowingly not allowing him to perform the required procedures, कि कहीं ये रिपोर्ट जो है एडवर्स ना दे दे, मॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन ना दे दे, क्लीन चिट हमें ना दे. ओके. सो द ऑडिटर शुड केयरफुली कंसीडर द रीजन. अगर कोई जेन्युइन रिक्वेस्ट है, only then he will see how is it possible to change the engagement to an engagement providing lower level of assurance. Okay. और अगर ऐसा है, then he should not refer to the original engagement. He should issue a fresh engagement letter and he should not refer either to original engagement or to the procedures which were performed by him as part of the original engagement. He should then work out according to the revised engagement. But if he thinks that management is deliberately not providing information and it is finding excuses that that management is suspecting that the auditor has come to know something and he might issue a modified opinion or adverse opinion which management doesn't want, so then auditor shall withdraw from the engagement. He shall withdraw from the engagement. अगर legally कोई if he can withdraw, कोई legal bar नहीं है, तो he shall withdraw from the audit engagement. And he would see कि whether it is necessary to report the circumstances to say government or other authorities, to the regulators. Okay. So if the management deliberately, knowingly is imposing some limitation on the scope of work after the audit has been started, after the audit has been accepted, then the auditor should see the genuineness of its reason. If the reason is genuine, it is okay. But if the reason is not genuine, if it is deliberate, if it is done to escape from the fact that the auditor is going to issue an adverse opinion, or the report the auditor is going to submit is would not be in accordance with the wishes of the management, then auditor shall withdraw from the audit engagement wherever possible, and he has to also report the matter to the law regulators and to the management. Okay. Now, Shri Meenakshi, you are saying that is it possible for you to clear inter in first time? Yes, Meenakshi, why not? But look, everybody has to assess himself or herself. Like, say, can if some student can understand and remember this chapter, say, in 2 days, but some student may not understand and remember this chapter even in 5 7 days. So that way you have to manage the time. So you have to see what are your strengths and what are your weakness, and then you have to divide your time accordingly. Like, one thing, Shri Meenakshi, I would like to make you clear that CA exam requires dedicated concentration. Okay, it is not that you would read the syllabus, you would have the cursory look, you would cram few questions, you in 1 month you would cram few 10 15 questions of last year papers, or from some notes, and then you can write in the exam. No, this strategy, this method is not going to work in CA exams. This is sure. Now, how you do this, how you manage your time, that is for every individual to decide according to his or her own circumstances. Okay, clear? So clear, guys. So this was about essay 210. So clear, guys. Is essay 210, whatever the is in your broad aspects of essay 210, which are in your syllabus, which are in your module, is that clear to you? Fairly simple things, guys. So quickly I shall again uh, try to recapitulate. We shall try to recapitulate it. Okay. So you have understood the meaning of engagement. Engagement means when auditor is engaged by client, okay, to perform audit of its financial statements. And essay 210, it deals with what? It deals with the responsibilities of auditor. Regarding agreeing to terms of audit engagement, he has to see before accepting the engagement that that preconditions for an audit are present. Okay, he has to make sure that preconditions of audit are present, which includes that the financial reporting framework according to which financial statements are prepared is acceptable, and there is agreement between the auditor and management on the basis on which audit is conducted, that management also understands its responsibility, and management undertakes to provide all the information documents as required by the auditor, and management also undertakes to provide unrestricted access to all the persons within the company, to all the persons within the entity, which might be required by the audit during the course of his audit. Okay, so guys, fairly simple things, just logical, step by step, from one step to second step, second leads to third, third to fourth. Simple. Okay. And what happens if these preconditions are not present? If these preconditions are not present, then auditor should not accept the engagement. अगर उसके पहले ही मैनेजमेंट आपको कह रही है कि हम आपको ये चीज नहीं दिखाएंगे, वो नहीं दिखाएंगे, या एम्प्लॉय से बात नहीं करने देंगे, या ये रिकॉर्ड्स नहीं दिखाएंगे, इट यू शुड नॉट एक्सेप्ट द एंगेजमेंट. व्हाई? बिकॉज प्री कंडीशंस आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड. Or we have also studied that what happens if during the course of audit, before the completion of engagement, management tries to impose some limitation. Okay, or management wants that they want the terms and conditions, terms of the audit engagement to be changed to that which provides lower level of assurance, to that which provides some limited assurance instead of reasonable assurance. Now we shall be coming to guys, SQC1, Standard on Quality Control. SQC1. So guys, SQC1 क्या डील करता है? So one thing you have to remember, students, that audit quality is a very important aspect. Say if the auditor does not conduct his audit professionally, or he does not conduct the audit in accordance with the procedures which are there in standards on auditing, then his work will not be qualitative. Okay, so that is why, and it can lead, no, it can lead to trouble for the auditor himself. See, if he does not do a quality audit, if he does not conduct audit in accordance with standards on auditing, or if he does not keep professional skepticism as required in standards on auditing, then he would be inviting trouble for himself. There would be trouble for the auditor in form of action from regulators. Okay. Yes, I know, Darshan. Topic 9, I know about it. So that is why there is very great emphasis on work of audit, on quality of audit, that audit should be performed in accordance with standards on auditing, and an appropriate report should be issued which is required in the circumstances, which is justified in the circumstances, depending upon the objective criteria. Okay, so guys, clear? Is that clear to you कि SQC1 किस बारे में डील करता है? और ये एक चीज मैंने आपको कल बताई थी, SQC1 is applicable not only to standards on auditing, it is also applicable to standards on review and standards on assurance engagements and on related services. So it is applicable to all the engagements, whether even when audit is performed by an auditor, SQC1 is also applicable. When review is performed by an auditor, SQC1 is also applicable. When assurance engagement relating to prospective financial information is performed by an auditor, SQC1 is also applicable. Even when related services like compilation work or performing an agreed upon procedure is carried out by the auditor, SQC1 is applicable. So whatever the type of engagement is, SQC1 is applicable. That is why we say that SQC1 is applicable to all engagements. It is applicable to all engagement standards. It is not only applicable to standards on auditing, it is applicable to all engagement standards. Okay. So what does SQC1 say? SQC1 कहता है कि जो भी ऑडिट फर्म है उसको अपना एक क्वालिटी कंट्रोल सिस्टम बनाना है. उसको क्या बनाना है? एक अपना क्वालिटी कंट्रोल सिस्टम बनाना है. किस लिए? इट इज स्टैंडर्ड ऑन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल. स्टैंडर्ड, नॉट सिस्टम. उसको एक क्वालिटी कंट्रोल का सिस्टम बनाना है. SQC स्टैंडर्ड ऑन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल, स्टैंडर्ड का नाम है. उसमें लिखा है कि फर्म को क्वालिटी कंट्रोल सिस्टम बनाना है और उस सिस्टम को बना के उसको एक अपनी फर्म में एक ऐसा कल्चर डेवलप करना है, एम्प्लॉइज को, सबको, जो से एक ऑडिट फर्म में might be there could be paid chartered accountant also, there could be other professional persons, there could be skilled persons, there would be articles also who are doing CA. So he has to make them aware that whatever work, whatever assignments you are doing, whatever things you are carrying out, you have to do it qualitatively. Okay. So yes, these kinds of engagements, assurance engagements, review, audit and related services are provided by CAs. We are talking in context of CAs. दर्शन सी. सो उसको क्या क्या, इस जो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल सिस्टम बनाना है उसके क्या क्या पार्ट्स होने चाहिए. दिस इज द थ्योरेटिकल फ्रेमवर्क कि SQC1 ये चीजें कहता है कि ये होनी चाहिए फर्म में. लाइक लीडरशिप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज फॉर क्वालिटी विद इन द फर्म, कि जो उस फर्म का, जो उस ऑडिट फर्म का मैनेजिंग पार्टनर है, CEO है, ही शुड टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी for developing a culture in the firm, in their audit firm, regarding quality. He should take a leadership role. He should show the way. Okay, he should show the way to other employees, maybe professionals or non-professionals in his firm, to carry out the professional work. Okay, so is that clear? So he should lead the way. He should accept the responsibilities. He should assume those responsibilities, and employees of the firm should be communicated. Yes, Rona Kumar Gohil, SQC stands for Standard on Quality Control. It is not system. Standard on Quality Control. Okay. Next is ethical requirements. He has to see what is ethical requirements. He has to see that the work, the professional work the audit is carried out in accordance with ethical requirements. Like we had seen day before yesterday, ISBA codes. Okay. So what are the ethical, all the fundamental principles? Integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, professional behavior. So these are not bypassed, these are being followed, and he has to take requirement of independence, that if there is, whether before accepting audit, whether there is a threat, he should see, and he should, if he recognizes some threat, then he should apply safeguards, reduce the threat to acceptable level. So these are the common things which he has to see. He has to comply with all the ethical requirements so that nobody can pinpoint a finger towards him later on. Okay. So in that way, he would be able to carry out his work in an ethical manner, in accordance with standards on auditing, in accordance with the regulatory norms, in accordance with the provisions of Chartered Accountants Act 1949, in accordance with the Code of Ethics issued by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay. So clear, guys? Ethical requirements. So first, I am trying to give you broad view. Then we will quickly go through the module. Number 3 is acceptance and continuance of client relationships and specific engagement. इसका क्या मतलब है? से कोई क्लाइंट आपके पास आया, he wants कि आप सर मेरी फर्म का या मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ऑडिट एक्सेप्ट करिए. So before accepting or before formalizing the things, okay, before getting into writing, he would exercise some diligence. He would carefully see the integrity of the persons involved. कि जो कंपनी है, जो मालिक है, he would satisfy himself. First of all, why he has come to me, how he has come to me, and what is integrity, what is his integrity. Whether कभी ऐसा तो नहीं है कि वो he might be involved in some, say he might be facing some serious charges of money laundering. से आपने ऑडिट एक्सेप्ट कर लिया और आपने कुछ उसके बारे में इंक्वायर नहीं किया, सो आपको बाद में पता चला कि से उसके यहाँ तो NIA की रेड हो गई, he is involved in terror financing. Okay, so these kind of things. और ऑडिट एक्सेप्ट करने से पहले he should also see, the firm should also see that whether it has necessary capabilities and competence to perform the audit. क्या उसके पास इतना स्टाफ है? The same common thing, guys, कि कोई भी काम करने से पहले आप देखोगे whether you would be able to perform. मान लो कोई 10,000 करोड़ की टर्नओवर की कंपनी है, तो आपके पास क्या उसका ऑडिट करने का आपके पास वेयर विदाल है? क्या आपके पास उतना स्किल्ड स्टाफ है या उतनी मैन पावर है आपके पास कि आप उसका ऑडिट कर सकते हैं और उसकी अप्रोप्रिएट रिपोर्ट इशू कर सकते हैं? या जिस सेक्टर में वो कंपनी काम कर रही है, आपने कभी वो ऑडिट किया है, या आप एक्सपर्ट्स कुछ हायर करोगे? ओके, सो दीज थिंग्स हैव टू बी लुक्ड. ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, उसी से रिलेटेड पॉइंट है. ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज की प्रॉपर प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए, कि ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज की एंगेजमेंट टीम की. फिर एंगेजमेंट परफॉर्मेंस, कि जैसे जैसे ऑडिट चलता है, ही हैज टू कंटिन्यूअसली सी द परफॉर्मेंस, क्या इशू अराइज हुए, किसको ऑडिट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी गई, क्या इशू अराइज हुए, कोई ग्रे एरियाज हैं जिनमें कि किसी कंसल्टेशन की जरूरत है, कुछ एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन की जरूरत है. एंड ही हैज टू मॉनिटर द सिस्टम शुड बी देयर, कि कंटिन्यूअसली मॉनिटरिंग चाहिए. मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम भी ऐसा चाहिए कि ड्यूरिंग द ऑडिट से कोई इंडिपेंडेंस का इशू तो अराइज नहीं हो गया। जब ऑडिट आपने एक्सेप्ट किया तब तो कोई ब्रीच नहीं थी इंडिपेंडेंस की, उसके बाद कोई इशू अराइज हो गया हो। ओके, सो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स। सो नाउ लेट अस गो थ्रू योर मॉड्यूल एंड सी व्हाट इज। सो गाइज एक आपको और करना है, एक SQC1 है, एक SA210 है। SA210 इज एग्रीइंग टर्म्स ऑफ ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट। SQC1 मैंने बता दिया आपको क्वालिटी कंट्रोल के बारे में। एक ऐसे और है, वो आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है लेकिन वो इसकी रेफरेंस है, मैं उसके बारे में एक ही लाइन बताना चाहूंगा। SA220 वो भी क्वालिटी कंट्रोल के बारे में है, लेकिन वो SA220 जो है वो एक एंगेजमेंट के बारे में है। से SQC तो है टोटल फॉर्म के बारे में, कि फॉर्म को एक आपने यहां सिस्टम बनाना है ऑडिट फॉर्म को क्वालिटी कंट्रोल का, ठीक है, और उसको उसकी लीडरशिप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो उसका फॉर्म का CEO है या मैनेजिंग पार्टनर है उसको लेनी है, ठीक है। एक तो सिस्टम डिवाइस होना चाहिए, पहले सिस्टम डिवाइस होगा तो अगर मान लीजिए एक फर्म के पास 20 ऑडिट्स हैं कंपनी के, तो उसके यहाँ एक बिल्ट एस्टेब्लिश सिस्टम होना चाहिए। अब किसी कोई एक ऑडिट शुरू हो रहा है तो उस ऑडिट की क्वालिटी के लिए कैसे कैसे होगा, वो ऐसे 220 डील करता है। उसमें भी सिमिलर बातें लिखी गई हैं जो SQC1 में है, लेकिन मोर और लेस, लेकिन वो एक एंगेजमेंट लेवल के बारे में है और SQC1 ओवरऑल फॉर्म के बारे में है। तो इसके बारे में आपको ज्यादा नहीं है क्योंकि ये आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है। ओके, yes Ramachandra, you are saying that how it is possible to predict human behavior। आपकी बात ठीक है, लेकिन what SQC1 is saying you to do some basic fact checking। हम इस पॉइंट पे अभी आ रहे हैं थोड़ी देर में। SQC1 अगर सपोज आज कोई आदमी ठीक है, कल को वो गलत हो जाए तो वो कांट डू एनीथिंग। ओके, आज वो ठीक है, एक साल बाद he is involved in some criminal act, then what the auditor can do? But point is he has to fact check these things before accepting the audit, due diligence, by general inquiry, by saying even discussion, क्या आप क्या करते हैं, क्या नोटिस है, कौन सी इंडस्ट्री में है, लाइक दीज सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स से। जब भी कोई चीज फॉर्मलाइज होती है उससे पहले इनफॉर्मल डिस्कशंस होती है ना। कोई सीधा आपको लेटर, आप सीधी एंगेजमेंट लेटर तो किसी को दे नहीं दोगे। कोई आपके पास ऑफिस में आएगा, आपसे बात करेगा, यू कम टू नो दैट पर्सन, कहाँ से आया है, कौन है, वो आपको कुछ रेफरेंस बताएगा, कहाँ रहता है, कहाँ उसकी कंपनी है, कहाँ उसके प्रेमिसेस हैं, क्या उसका क्या उसका डाटा है, क्या पैन नंबर है, क्या उसने बैंक से लोन लिया हुआ है, दीज सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स। सो जनरल फैक्ट चेकिंग। और एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर मैंने आपको बताया था कि एक एंगेजमेंट पे से फॉर्म में एक एस्टेब्लिश क्वालिटी कंट्रोल सिस्टम है। अब एक एंगेजमेंट के लिए कोई ना कोई पार्टनर फर्म का रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगा। तो जो वो ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट के लिए एक आदमी कर रहा है, एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट कर रहा है, उसको हम एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर कह रहे हैं। ही इज नोन in the language of auditing as engagement partner who is responsible for performing that engagement, okay, and who is also responsible for signing on behalf of the firm on the report, okay। So engagement partner refers to the partner in the firm who is responsible for the audit engagement and its performance and for the auditor's report that is issued on behalf of the firm। He is responsible for the firm, क्योंकि जब ऑडिटर साइन करता है तो से ऑडिट फर्म में 5 पार्टनर हैं, तो द रिपोर्ट इज साइंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द फर्म, लेकिन साइन तो एक ही पार्टनर करेगा. फॉर XYZ company chartered accountants, one partner would sign. So he undertakes responsibility on behalf of the firm. Look, that I have performed the audit, I am responsible for the audit, and I am responsible for the audit report issued. Okay, is that clear? He is known as engagement partner. So ethical requirements, guys, we have done day before yesterday. आइसबा कोड एथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट्स हम कर चुके हैं. ज्वाइंट ऑडिट के बारे में आप अभी बहुत दूर हो रामचंद्रा. यू वुड स्टडी इट इन कंपनी ऑडिट. SA 299 इसके बारे में एक स्पेशल स्टैंडर्ड है. इंडिपेंडेंस यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन. थ्रेट्स टू इंडिपेंडेंस ऑल्सो यू हैव डन. safeguards also done. Professional skepticism also done. Now we come to acceptance and continuance of client relationship and audit engagements. This the point I was talking, Ramchandra Koppar, the point which I was talking. So what SQC1 requires an auditor to do? SQC1 requires the firm to obtain information before accepting an engagement. कैसी information? Information such as the following assist the engagement partner in determining whether decision regarding acceptance and continuance of audit engagement are appropriate. He should obtain this type of information. So it would help him in deciding at first place whether he needs to accept the audit or straight away offer his refusal, like the integrity of principal owners and key management and those charged with the governance. The point which the example I had given to you just right now, like of say some criminal, the management is involved in some criminal activity. Okay, so whether the engagement team is competent to perform the audit and he has the necessary capabilities. Say if I am a small size firm, I have only 5-7 people working with me, so then how I can say audit the financial statements of a multinational company? I would have to assess whether I have the capability and person. Okay, if that is not the issue, even if limited with the limited number of persons, I can conduct the audit. By then what kind of experts I should hire? These things I have to consider. That how my basic concern would be to carry out audit in accordance with the standards on auditing qualitatively. Quality would be important to me. So to achieve that quality, I would make sure that I have got the necessary resources. जो लोग audit करेंगे, whether they have necessary experience. Okay, so these kind of things I would assess. So decision would be solely mine. So I have to take the responsibility, na? I have to take the responsibility. The decision would solely be mine to accept it or not. So but SQC1 asks me, it requires me to keep in mind these issues. You have to understand that much. नो भूमिका, आप तो अभी भूमिका यू आर स्टक, अभी आपको क्लैरिटी नहीं है. भूमिका आप कह रहे हो कि अगर एक सीए कंपनी में ही एम्प्लॉय है तो क्या वो दोनों एक दूसरे को कंपनी और वो एंगेजमेंट लेटर देंगे? जब सीए कंपनी में एम्प्लॉय है तो सीए उसको ऑडिट कर ही नहीं सकता भूमिका। ऑडिट एक इंडिपेंडेंट एग्जामिनेशन है। जो अगर एक कंपनी के पास एक सीए एम्प्लॉय है, देन ही कैन नॉट साइन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स ऑफ दैट कंपनी, ही कैन नॉट ऑडिट, he can perform other works, he can assist the management, he can help in developing the systems, he can do taxation work, he can do internal audit work, but he cannot express the opinion on financial statements. Again ऐसे 200 पहली लाइन कि ऑडिट एक इंडिपेंडेंट एग्जामिनेशन है। अगर कोई चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट किसी कंपनी में एम्प्लॉय है तो वो उसकी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स कैसे ऑडिट कर देगा? उसकी तो इंडिपेंडेंस ही नहीं है। ही इज एम्प्लॉय ऑफ दैट कंपनी। वो उसकी कैसे क्या वो ओपिनियन एक्सप्रेस कर सकता है? नहीं कर सकता। Bhumika, is that clear to you? Now, Darshan is asking the firm mentioned in SQC is which one? It is a client firm or audit firm? Good question. SQC1 में जो फर्म कह रहा है वो ऑडिट फर्म की बात हो रही है, क्योंकि SQC1 रिक्वायर करता है ऑडिट फर्म को that it should develop a quality control system. Okay, so that audit is carried out qualitatively in accordance with the professional standards. So the firm stated in SQC1 is audit firm. Clear? Darshan, is that clear to you? And Ramachandra, you are asking, is there a time limit? Yes, there is a time limit. Like, say in case of companies, audited accounts have to be presented and adopted in AGM. So there is the time limit of AGM is fixed under Companies Act. Like it has to be say conducted within 6 months of the close of the financial year. Okay, so before that audit has to be, accounts have to be adopted, audited accounts have to be adopted. So first audit would be completed, then audited financial statements would be adopted. So timeline is there, timeline is very important. Yeah, Vishnu Kumar, you are saying today is my first lecture, we have to read the auditing pronouncement. Vishnu Kumar, go to my recorded lectures on ICI YouTube. You can go to my recorded lectures of 11th March and I think 14th March. All your queries would be resolved. So first hear those two lectures and then try to understand whether the firm and engagement can comply with relevant ethical requirements. ये भी जरूरी है कि before accepting he has to see like independence, he has to see. Okay, significant matters like say before accepting audit he has to see like पिछले जो ऑडिट थे, भैया आप पिछली फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स दिखाओ, आपका ऑडिटर कौन था, व्हाई यू, व्हाट वर हिज ऑब्जर्वेशंस, क्या उसका ऑडिटर के साथ लड़ाई झगड़ा हुआ आपका, क्या उसने गलत आपकी एडवर्स रिपोर्ट दी, व्हाई, these type of things. So these have to be uh, judged by the auditor. Okay. Yes, auditing is for a financial year. So in India, financial year is of ending 31st March. So if the engagement partner obtains information that would have caused the firm to decline the audit engagement, the engagement partner shall communicate the information to the firm. Say some information जो पार्टनर डील करता है उसके नॉलेज में आ रही है, सो ही शुड इमीडिएटली कम्युनिकेट टू अदर पार्टनर्स और टू द सीईओ दैट दिस इंफॉर्मेशन हैज कम, वी शुड नॉट एक्सेप्ट दिस एंगेजमेंट, दीज आर द फैक्ट्स. Staff, Naresh, staff strength is not that is important only when work is not performed qualitatively. Now it is for the firm to assess that whether reduced staff strength would affect quality of his work or not. Staff strength is not a criteria in itself. It should not lead to dilution in quality of work. If a person can perform, if a firm can perform the work in accordance with standards on auditing with reduced strength, but by devoting extra time, even then it's okay. But he should assess. He should assess. It is a factor, but he should assess. It is not to say that small size firm cannot do audit of a big company. If they have the resources, or if they can conduct the audit in qualitatively by hiring some experts, or by using some procedures, then it is for them to assess. Okay. Alvin is saying if 31st March is auditing date, 31st March is not auditing date, Alvin. 31st March is the closing financial year date. After that, the financial year has closed. Okay. And in case of company audit, it might have started much earlier because it is a recurring engagement. Appointment of a company auditor, say, is for 5 years. Okay. The audit cannot be carried out. It is not in a single day or that all the audit is to be completed. Yes, Ramchandra, if the auditor does not accept the engagement, there is nothing to say in writing. He can simply refuse. This is writing thing comes in the picture only when he started the work after giving engagement letter. Okay. So human resources. Next thing is human resources, like the firm shall employ skilled person with having capabilities, with professional experience to carry out the audit in accordance with the professional standards. Okay. So all these personal issues shall be general things like recruitment capabilities. They have the capabilities to carry out professional work. Say मेरे पास फर्म के पास किसी फर्म के पास कैसा काम है, लिस्टेड कंपनीज का काम है, तो वो जो लोग हायर कर रहे हैं, वेदर इट इज हायरिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स, ओके, persons who are skilled. So these kind of things. Engagement performance, same, I have already told you that performance has to be, he has to see that if there is some difficulties arise, that proper consultation is there, and he should the firm should develop a system of monitoring. Okay. That audit is being carried out in accordance with professional standards, that quality control system is appropriately designed, that firm's quality control procedures have been appropriately applied. Okay. So guys, one more topic before going to break. There is one more topic I would like to cover. That is general qualities of an auditor. Topic number 9. It is qualities of an auditor. So guys, अभी तक आपको you have understood कि auditing क्या है. You have understood the nature of auditor, nature of auditing, objectives of auditor, scope of audit. So you can very well judge कि apart from technical knowledge, apart from professional knowledge, the auditor should possess some general human qualities which are necessary in such kind of profession. Okay, like tactfulness, like say judging, like caution, like firmness, like due diligence, analytical mind. Okay, कभी एम्प्लॉय से इंफॉर्मेशन निकलवानी है, यू extract the information from him tactfully. You engage himself, you engage with the employee in a conversation and get the information. It is not, it may not be always in writing. You may come to know some information during informal conversation also. Okay, so judgment is another important quality, that when you accept some engagement, or when you are on to some engagement, you have a sense of judgment. Like I had used the term day before yesterday, auditor's hunch, that when you perform the professional work for say 15-20 years, you have developed a sense that you have accumulated so much experience, you have dealt with so many persons, that you come to know that what could go wrong, where could go wrong, because of your experience. Okay, so this is what all we say when we talk about professional judgment. So आप standards on auditing के में जब भी एक word आएगा professional judgment, कि it depends upon professional judgment of the auditor. So professional judgment क्या है गाइस? व्हाट इज प्रोफेशनल जजमेंट? प्रोफेशनल जजमेंट वही है जो कि उसको अपने नॉलेज और एक्सपीरियंस से आई। वो कहां से आई? क्योंकि उसका इतने साल का एक्सपीरियंस है टू डील विद द क्लाइंट्स। ओके, टू सी द थिंग्स इन प्रॉपर पर्सपेक्टिव, टू लिसन टू अदर्स, टू नॉट टू जंप टू कंक्लूजंस, टू एनालाइज, to take due care, to check all the things before signing. So these are the qualities, students, which you would learn, which you would also imbibe as the time passes by, partly through your study and partly your practical experience during your articleship, when you would be doing your articles, joining your articles in a CA firm. You would learn these things, how to tackle the clients, how to judge other persons. So these are all qualities which makes you a successful human being. The same qualities should be there in an auditor. Okay, प्रोफेशनल और टेक्निकल नॉलेज तो है ही, उसके बिना तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता। अगर क्योंकि आपको सब्जेक्ट डोमेन की नॉलेज नहीं है, आपको अकाउंटेंसी की नॉलेज नहीं है, आपको लॉ की नॉलेज नहीं है, तो वो तो एक बेसिक चीज है, वो तो होनी ही होनी है। बट बिसाइड्स दैट, उसके अलावा भी जो ह्यूमन क्वालिटीज हैं जो ऐसे प्रोफेशन में रिक्वायर्ड है, उसकी बात है। जैसे उसको जहां तक नॉलेज की बात है, वो तो है ही, लॉ की नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, कंपनीज एक्ट, इनकम टैक्स एक्ट। ओके, एंड ही शुड नॉट सर्टिफाई एनीथिंग रॉन्ग। ओके, ये लाइन एक आपको ध्यान में रखनी है। ऑडिटर मस्ट बी ऑनेस्ट, दैट इज he must not certify what he does not believe to be true. If he believes that the information, the report, the certificate which he is going to sign is not true, he should not sign it, and must take reasonable care and skill before he believes what he certifies is true. So before putting his signatures on dotted line, he would cross verify. He should take proper safeguards that whatever he is signing is true. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, क्लियर है आपको ये? इज दैट क्लियर? क्वालिटीज ऑफ ऑडिटर, इज दैट क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स? यस, टेल मी। यस, आई होप इट इज क्लियर। So at this stage, we will take a break of 10 minutes, guys. So see you after 10 minutes. Break of 10 minutes. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. So, guys, you are able to see this correct, incorrect type questions. Let me know. Screen is visible to you. And Darshan, you are asking integrity of whom is to be checked, principal owners or audit firm? Yeah, Darshan, please apply some common sense. ऑडिट फर्म की तो बात ही हो रही है, तो ऑडिट फर्म जो है इंटेग्रिटी ऑनर्स की चेक करेगी ना कि अपनी इंटेग्रिटी चेक करेगी. ओके. जनरली SQC1 में फर्म का मतलब ऑडिट फर्म है, लेकिन जहां इंटेग्रिटी चेक करनी है वहां तो वो प्रिंसिपल ऑनर्स की करेगी. ओके. तो गाइस, ये स्क्रीन इज विजिबल. So let us start. Are you ready? Question number 1. SQC1 is not applicable to standards on assurance engagements. Tell me what is answer. Along with reason, guys. Yes, guys, are you still joined in? Are you still logged in or left out? Yes, come on, guys, it is for you. SQC1 is not applicable to standards on assurance engagement. Yes, what would be the answer? Write question number, option and reason. Only one answer yet from Tanisha Jadhav. Guduri, you are writing just false, but what is the reason? So I told you that without assigning any reason, you would not be getting any marks in the exam. Only 4, 5. What about others? Bhumika, Lavyas, Loga Sundar, Shazia. Shazia, you have not given the answer. And what about others? Yes, most of you have Yogesh Soni. Yes, most of you have given the answer correctly. This statement is false. This is incorrect. Why? Because we had learned that SQC1, that is standard on quality control, is applicable to all engagement standards. To all engagement standards, which includes standards on assurance engagements. So therefore, this statement is incorrect. Darshan, you have written the reason correctly, but conclusion is wrong. You are writing SQC is applicable to all engagements, but you are writing it is correct. So you should write it is, you should write right reason, but conclusion is wrong. Yes, Shazia, yes, your answer has been received. SQC1 is applicable to all standards, all engagement standards. Number 2. Now study this question and try to answer it. A chartered accountant holds shares in a company. Say he holds shares in a company. In case he accepts appointments as auditor of the company, अगर वो कर लेता है, if he accepts the appointment as auditor of the company, he would be violating fundamental principle of integrity governing professional ethics. Whether it is right or wrong, थोड़ा सा सोचना पड़ेगा. कॉपी एंड पेस्ट नहीं है, थोड़ा सा सोचना पड़ेगा. यस गाइस. चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के पास किसी कंपनी के शेयर हैं, अगर वो उस कंपनी का ऑडिट एक्सेप्ट कर लेता है तो स्टेटमेंट कह रही है कि तो वो इंटेग्रिटी का प्रिंसिपल वायलेट करेगा. 3-4 answers. Guys, this statement is false. वो अगर एक्सेप्ट करता है तो वो क्या इंटीग्रिटी का प्रिंसिपल वायलेट करेगा? नहीं, वो तो उसकी इंडिपेंडेंस इंपेयर हो रही है। तो इंडिपेंडेंस के साथ कौन सा रिलेटेड प्रिंसिपल है? ऑब्जेक्टिविटी। He would not be in a position to take objective decisions. He would be under influence. हमने पढ़ा था कि ऑब्जेक्टिविटी जो है, ऑब्जेक्टिविटी मीन्स दैट ही is free from pulls and pressures, he has no conflict of interest. तो अगर उसके पास शेयर्स हैं तो उसका इंडिपेंडेंस इंपेयर हो गई और उसका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हो गया। ओके, सो द स्टेटमेंट इज फॉल्स। He would not be violating integrity, but he would be endangering his independence through violation of objectivity. Yes, Siddhi Bhosle, you have written correctly. Yes, Siddhi, it is correct. Number third, an auditor remains vigilant to conditions that may indicate possible fraud. Say there is an auditor who remains alert. Yes, Preetham, your replies are being received. You have also written that it is wrong. So an auditor remains vigilant to conditions that may indicate possible fraud. He is lacking in professional skepticism. Whether this statement is correct or incorrect. अगर एक ऑडिटर विजिलेंट है, अलर्ट है कि फ्रॉड हो सकता है, तो इसका मतलब है दैट ही इज लैकिंग इन प्रोफेशनल स्केप्टिसिज्म. इज दिस करेक्ट और इनकरेक्ट? Yes, tell me, guys. Either, guys, many of you have left out today or you are not responding. Only, I think 10-15 people are responding. शायद आपको लगता है कि आपने 2 दिन में सारी ऑडिटिंग समझ ली है, बस आ गया समझ, अब तो बाएं हाथ का खेल है। ये गलती मत कर देना स्टूडेंट्स एग्जाम में। An auditor remains vigilant to conditions that may indicate possible fraud. He is lacking in professional skepticism. This statement is incorrect, false. In fact, he is having professional skepticism. He is performing his work according to professional skepticism. He is alert because he is alert that a fraud can occur. How you can say that it is correct? Siddhi, how you are writing it is correct? Professional skepticism means remaining alert to the conditions that indicate the possibility of fraud. So is he lacking here or is he possessing that quality? So he is here possessing that quality. He is not lacking in professional skepticism. Yes, Preetham, your answer is also correct. He is not lacking. In fact, he is vigilant. He is possessing professional skepticism. He is having professional skepticism. Yogesh, Soni, you would have to see my second lecture, second recorded lecture. Professional skepticism, the concept of professional skepticism means that the auditor remains alert to possible wrongdoing, that he remains alert to the condition that a fraud could exist, that there could be material misstatements. Okay. He has remained alive to the conditions. He is to remain awake. He has not to sleep. He has not to shut his eyes. Question number 4. Now tell me what should be the answer. Engagement letter is sent by auditor to client. Is this correct or incorrect? Engagement letter is sent by auditor to client. Yes, few answers. Rona Kumar Gohil, Darshan, Sonali. Engagement letter is sent by auditor to client. What about others? Yes, guys. Waiting for your mails. Yes, Sudhanshu Shekhar is writing correct. Preetam Siddhi Bhosle is also writing correct. Love Vyas, Bhumika, Tanisha Jadhav, all are writing correct. चलो गाइज ये तो कंफर्ट है कि एक चीज तो आपको समझ में आ गई कि एंगेजमेंट लेटर क्या होती है। ये तो आप नहीं भूलेंगे। दिस यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू फॉरगेट। शाजिया यस। यस दिस इज ए करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट। Engagement letter is sent by the auditor to client. Next. SQC1 requires auditor to verify the integrity of principal owners before accepting an engagement. SQC1 requires auditor to verify integrity of principal owners before accepting engagement. Yogesh Soni, might be it is your first day. I think that is why you are not able to grasp the things. SQC1 requires auditor to verify integrity of principal owners before accepting an engagement. Is it correct or incorrect? Yes, tell me, guys. Tell me, is the statement correct or incorrect? Only one answer, Aparajita Mishra. So, Sudhanshu, you are saying that it is, you understand, but you are not able to draft the answer is tough. Yes, Himanshu, it comes with the practice. Well, I'll come to it later on. Just after this first question, I'll come to this topic. Yes, this statement is also correct. Abhi, we have just learned that SQC1 requires auditor to verify integrity of principal owners. क्या लोग हैं, कौन लोग हैं, उसके मालिक कौन है? He should understand these things before accepting engagement. Okay. So, one guy, Sudhanshu Shekhar, you are writing that you are not, that it is very tough to draft answer, although you are understanding. See, Sudhanshu, it is a process. So first thing is understanding. You have understood, you are understanding the concepts. Now, second step in this whole process is about reading and learning from your module. Okay, so you would read and learn and try to assimilate the contents of module in your mind. Okay, so how it can be done? So, Sudhanshu, when you will study the module, then many terms you would you would remember many new words, many keywords you would remember, like for example say integrity. For example, you would be remembering reasonable assurance, okay, limited assurance, audit, review, standards on auditing, professional competence, false statement, misleading, okay, material misstatement, independent, examination. So these words you have, when you have to remember these words. These are the key words. So when you would be able to remember these keywords, if you are not able to remember once, try twice, try thrice, try 4 times. Remembrance is must. Okay, then you can easily frame sentence. Now framing sentence, just make small sentences. It is, you are not writing an English literature paper here. You have to just think logically and write in your own short sentences without omitting keywords. That is the crux. You can write in your own language, but you have to write, jotting, connecting the keywords you may write in your own sentence, but during the process it may so happen that you are able to remember some lines, some some phrases, some lines. So that is very good. Say in a chapter covering 50-60 pages, you are able to summarize in your mind in 1 or 2 page, then it is a very good thing. But straight away you cannot jump to that summarized information, because if you straight away jump to that summarized information, you will not able to write a single line in the exam. Sudhanshu, is that clear? Yes, Bhavani, these notes are already uploaded. Yes, Sudhanshu, I am not getting any reply, any response from you. I am taking up your query, and it is also beneficial to other students also. It is a general query relating to preparation of exams. So otherwise you are harping, sir, exams की तैयारी करनी कैसे करनी है बताइए, and now you seem to be not taking any interest. Okay, so is that clear? Any doubts of other students regarding how to write in the auditing exam, how to prepare? Any other doubts? Yes, guys, I am waiting for you so that we can move to next thing. Say Darshan, it when you would read from your module, when you study from your module, it would occur to you naturally that you would be remembering uh, essays. It would occur to you naturally that you would remember the name of essays, the number of essay, because it would come so many times. So if you write correct essay number, then it adds quality to your answer. Okay, the it shows to the examiner that you are understanding, that you have learned and remembered, that you are not writing in a very general way. Okay. Yes, the paper is in English and Hindi also, but for that you have to opt for Hindi medium. It is only then you can write. You have to opt for Hindi medium. And in my view, writing paper in Hindi is more tough, but it depends from person to person, but that is my view. That is my view. Okay, guys. So now should we go to MCQs? Are you ready for MCQ, students? Yes, guys. स्क्रीन विजिबल है आपको? Yes, प्रीतम, if the statement is correct, तब भी आपको रीजन लिखना है why it is correct. अगर इनकरेक्ट है तो भी रीजन लिखना है. अगर करेक्ट है तो बताना है क्यों करेक्ट है. जैसे पहला SQC1 वाला क्वेश्चन था, सॉरी SQC1 वाला तो इनकरेक्ट था. से ये क्वेश्चन एंगेजमेंट लेटर का था, तो उसमें आपको रीजन देना है कि एंगेजमेंट लेटर इज सेंट बाय ऑडिटर टू द क्लाइंट because it is an formal arrangement by which the final terms are set between the auditor and the client, and it is sent by the auditor to client, and the same is in accordance with SA 210. Yes, sections, if you remember correct section and you can write, it is well enough. But if you have doubt, then do not write. If you have doubt about the section, do not write. If you remember the correct number, correct clause, then write. If you if you have a doubt, then it is better not to quote wrong section. So you can simply write provisions of Companies Act state so. The requirements of Companies Act 2013 states so. You can write it in general way if you fail to remember that section. If you remember section, then it is well enough, very good. Okay. Why you want to give the opportunity to the examiner to circle the wrong section? Now, Darshan, you are again how to use auditing pronouncement book. I have told you that this book is for your reference only. It contains all detailed standards. So all your chapters are based upon these standards. So अगर आप intermediate level पे ये मॉड्यूल अच्छी तरह से याद कर लें, समझ लें, अप्लाई कर लें, यही सफिशिएंट है. वो बुक आपको दी गई है कि अगर आपको नॉलेज और गेन करनी है, कोई चीज आपको समझ में नहीं आ रही है, तो यू कैन रेफर. ओके. नाउ फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. CAX had resigned from a company as its director and joined a firm of auditors just last year. Incidentally, same firm is offered appointment as auditor of the company. अगर वही सीए उस कंपनी का ऑडिट करता है तो किस टाइप की थ्रेट है? उसकी इंडिपेंडेंस को किस टाइप की थ्रेट है? से एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एक कंपनी में पहले डायरेक्टर थे. ओके. डायरेक्टरशिप से उन्होंने रिजाइन कर दिया और एक ऑडिट फर्म में ज्वाइन कर लिया. सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस अपना लेके उन्होंने ऑडिट, या पहले भी सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस था लेकिन डायरेक्टर थे तो ज्वाइन कर लिया उन्होंने ऑडिट फर्म को. ठीक है. और उसी फर्म का अब ऑडिट, उसी कंपनी का उनको ऑडिट करना है उनकी फर्म को. अब वही अगर पार्टनर जो है वही उस कंपनी का ऑडिट करते हैं तो कौन सी थ्रेट इन्वॉल्व है इसमें? सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट, सेल्फ रिव्यू, एडवोकेसी या इंटिमिडेशन? बताइए स्टूडेंट्स. ये 3-4 आंसर आए हैं सिर्फ. दर्शन, योगेश, भूमिका, शाजिया, प्रीतम, ऑलविन. व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? सिद्धि भोसले, Loga Sundar, Love Vyas. So guys, he was the director in the company earlier. So if he goes to conduct audit of that company, then what he would be doing? He would be reviewing his own work. So the answer is B. Self-review threat. इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रेट कौन लिख रहा है? भवानी, इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रेट तो ऑप्शन में नहीं है, आप कहां से लिख रहे हैं? इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रेट तो कोई थ्रेट है ही नहीं, इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट होती है। सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट थ्रेट तो कैसे रही? गाइस आप सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट, कुछ लोग सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट भी लिख रहे हैं लाइक प्रीतम। सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट क्या? सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट उस डेट को तो उसका एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता, वो तो ऑलरेडी कंपनी से रिजाइन कर चुका है और उसने ऑडिट फर्म ज्वाइन कर ली है। सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट कहां से हुआ? सेल्फ रिव्यू, जो उसने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी एज ए डायरेक्टर कंपनी के, तो जो भी काम किए, वॉट एवर वर्क वॉज डन, that would be also subject to review whether it was in accordance with law or not. Okay, self review threat. Yes. Now question number 2. Yes, fairly simple, damn easy. Who is an engagement partner? अरे यार इतने आसान आसान क्वेश्चन बन जाते हैं, कौन बनाता है? हु इज एन एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर? हु इज एन एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर? यस, यस गाइस, हु इज एन एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर? Who is an engagement partner? Yes, Sanjit, your mail is reaching. It was a fairly simple question, guys. एक स्टूडेंट्स आपको एक और चीज ध्यान में रखनी है, इन एमसीक्यूज आंसर ओएमआर शीट में लिखने से पहले आप चारों ऑप्शंस जरूर पढ़ें। एक तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे, आपको एमसीक्यूज में वो वाला ऑप्शन मार्क करना है जो मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट है। हो सकता है एक से ज्यादा ऑप्शन ठीक हो, लेकिन जो ऑप्शन, जो चारों ऑप्शन दी गई है उसमें से कंप्लीट ऑप्शन कौन सी है? जितना भी लिखा हुआ है उसमें से कंप्लीट, आपके पास चार ही ऑप्शन है, चारों में से एक मार्क करनी है, जो सबसे अप्रोप्रिएट है वो आपको मार्क करनी है। Mahesh, you are not writing anything, you are writing hi only. Yes, Sanjit, your mail has come. Sudhanshu, Tushar, Lavyas, many others. So guys, many of you have written correctly. Answer is C. Partner of firm who is responsible for audit engagement. So, but some of you are writing A. Although engagement partner coordinates with the client, but whether it is the most appropriate options out of 4? No. एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर का पर्पस खाली कोऑर्डिनेट होता है क्लाइंट के साथ करना। हु इज ओवरऑल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट की लेता है, ही इज नोन एज एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर। ओके, so a person who this is a part of his responsibility. Okay, A option is only a part of his responsibility. So guys, you are getting my point. There are some subtle finer differences between the options. You have to be beware of the trap laid by the paper setter in the exam. जो पेपर सेटर ने आपके लिए ट्रैप बना रखा है, आपको उस ट्रैप से बचना है। चारों ऑप्शन पढ़ने हैं और उसके बाद उनको असेस करके आंसर देना है। क्लियर? Yes, Aparajita, yes. Anju Bala, you are saying I am not taking your name. Anju Bala, you have written, yes, you have written correctly. You have written who is responsible for audit engagement. Yes, you have written correctly. Answer is option C. So guys, you are getting my point. You are getting useful tips. We are trying to make the sessions as student friendly as we can, so that in fact these help you actually in your exams. Okay. Question number 3. Now which of the following statements is most appropriate? देखिए हम most appropriate की बात कर रहे थे और most appropriate आ गया. Which of the following is most appropriate? आपको बताना है कौन सी स्टेटमेंट सबसे ज्यादा अप्रोप्रिएट है. Yes, tell me guys. सिंपल बेसिक थिंग, फर्स्ट चैप्टर की बेसिक थिंग जहां से ऑडिटिंग स्टार्ट होती है, बेसिक थिंग है उसका. कितनी बार हम इस बारे में बात कर चुके हैं. थर्ड का ऑप्शन कौन सा है? मैंने स्टूडेंट्स आपको बोला था कि पेपर में पेपर सेटर ने जो आपके लिए ट्रैप बना रखा है, जो जाल बिछा रखा है ताकि आप गलत मार्क कर रहे हैं, आप उसे बचें. लेकिन आपने, मेरे को लगता है, उस बात का ध्यान नहीं दिया और आप उसी जाल में फंस रहे हैं. Many students have answered. तुषार, रोना कुमार, दर्शन, योगेश, भवानी, गुदुरी. So students will, and many of you also would be in the process of sending your mail, sending your reply. I think only one or two have answered correctly. So before this, I'll take the names of the persons who have answered correctly. हम इससे पहले स्टूडेंट्स इन चारों ऑप्शंस को वन बाय वन डिस्कस करते हैं. Preparation of financial statements involves only objective criteria by management. क्या खाली ऑब्जेक्टिव क्राइटेरिया होते हैं? मैनेजमेंट कुछ जजमेंट्स वगैरह कुछ इन्वॉल्व नहीं होते. कोई सब्जेक्टिव, कोई मैनेजमेंट को प्रोविजंस करने होते हैं, कौन सी अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी चॉइस करनी है, 5 में से कोई एक करनी है, ऑल्टरनेटिव में से कौन सा ऑल्टरनेटिव लेना है, ये चीजें होती है ना. तो ये तो ओनली ऑब्जेक्टिव क्राइटेरिया तो गलत हो गया. दिस इज फॉल्स. प्रिपरेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स इज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ एंटिटी, ये तो पेटेंटली फॉल्स है. हमें पता है कि ये मैनेजमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. डी है प्रिपरेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट. अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट तो पूरी कंपनी का एक पार्ट है स्टूडेंट्स. खाली जो अकाउंटेंट बना देगा या जो हेड अकाउंटेंट बना देगा या जो अकाउंट्स मैनेजर बना देगा, क्या वो फाइनल है? क्या उसको कंपनी एक्सेप्ट कर लेगी? कंपनी की मैनेजमेंट ऑडिटर को देने से पहले बताइए आप मेरे को इसका आंसर दीजिए. क्या वो प्रोविजन कुछ नहीं करवाएंगे? क्या वो प्रॉफिट नहीं देखेंगे? ठीक है, तो बचता कौन सा है? बी. तो एक अंजू बाला एंड लव व्यास एंड Anjubala, Lavyas, Aparajita, and now Shazia and others. Now you are starting giving mails that B is the right answer. Preparation of financial statement involves judgment by management. इन चारों में से ये ऑप्शन मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट है. जजमेंट तो होती ही होती है, जजमेंट होती है, ये नहीं मस्ट होती है, लिखा है इन्वॉल्व जजमेंट, जजमेंट होती है फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के बनाने में. ओके yes, sorry Anju, if your name is Anubala, yes you are Anubala, yes Anubala, you are correct. Yes, Bhumika, you are also saying correct. Good. So the point I am making is Anu and all others कि आपको चारों ऑप्शन पढ़नी है और उनको असेस करना है विद इन फ्यू सेकंड्स. आपको असेस करना है और ढूंढना है कि कहां पे वेयर वी आर, कहां पे हम फंस रहे हैं, उनको रूल आउट करना है. चार में से पहले रूल आउट करिए, ये नहीं हो सकता, ये ऑड है, ये नहीं हो सकता. फिर जो बच जाए एक दो, उसके बीच में डिसीजन लीजिए. ओके यस कृष्णा Pagodia, your message is being received. Yes. Now this one is fairly simple. I do not expect anybody to answer this question wrongly. Question number 4. Audit of an entity. Fairly simple. बताइए. Tell me guys, what is the answer? Yes. Audit of an entity. Question number 4. Audit of an entity is always mandatory, is always voluntary, may be mandatory or voluntary, is always ordered by government, depending upon circumstances. Yes. Almost all of you except one person. Who is that person? Sanjit. You have answered wrongly, bhai. Sanjit. What has required you to mark option B? The correct answer is option C. Mandatory, the audit can be mandatory or voluntary. It may be prescribed by law or it may not be prescribed by law. Like in case of companies, it is compulsory. But in other entities, it may be due to the benefits which flow from audit. Okay. It 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 is always voluntary. How you can say? It is not always voluntary. Sometimes it is prescribed by law, like in case of companies, like in case of I was telling you entities crossing certain threshold limit in income tax act, they are also required to get their accounts audited. So then there is no voluntariness there. Audit has to be performed and carried out in accordance with law. Okay. Now fifth is also very simple, guys. Yes. Reasonable assurance. What does reasonable assurance means? Reasonable assurance signifies what? You would be reading about LLPs in your second module in audit of different entities. There are also exemptions and applicability of audit in case of LLPs. So you would be reading about there. Siddhi Bhosle. Reasonable assurance signifies. What does reasonable assurance signify? Yes. Answer C. High level of assurance. High level of assurance. So is that clear to you guys? So yes, guys, are you able to see me? Yes, students, are you able to see me? So guys, any other queries of this chapter? So I've tried students to make you feel comfortable in an easy language to the extent circumstances permit, to the extent uh, I could explain to you without compromising the quality of the topic being taught. Okay. So any other query quickly? Any other query regarding this chapter, guys? What we can take in 2-3 minutes? You are saying no, no, Siddhi, mostly Revati. What about others, guys? Any other query regarding preparation, regarding doubts in your mind, regarding, yes, limited assurance in review, yes. Definitely question and answer session definitely makes you confident. Definitely it makes you confident because there you can see what you have learned. You are applying the same things. You are applying logically the same things. Okay. Yes, uh, you can see from you can read from the module, devote 2 days, and you can ask the question when we meet day after tomorrow for our next chapter, that is chapter 2, audit planning. Audit planning, audit strategy, and audit program. So chapter 2 would be taking day after tomorrow on Saturday. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching me patiently. Okay. Thank you. Good night. Good night, guys.